Hi you guys, Tasha Shore, your partner in parenting here. Glad to see you. I hope you'll have a hop over to my website, tashashore.com, and have a look at all the different ways that I can help you help your young boy thrive. As you hopefully know by now, my umbrella mission is to create a more peaceful world, one sweet boy at a time, and I am positive of the fact, completely convinced of the fact, that that begins inside my family and your family with how we raise our boys. So thank you for joining me on this peaceful parenting journey. Today I want to talk to you again about sleep, but this time from a little bit of a different perspective. I do want to review a few basics that I think are important to keep in mind always when we're talking about sleep. And the main thing is this: there's no one right way to do it. Okay, there's so much guilt that we carry with us as parents that we have to do things a certain way. Society is expecting it of us, our partners are expecting it of us, our families are expecting it of us, our communities are expecting it of us. But ultimately, the first step in getting a good night's sleep is sitting down with yourself and thinking, okay, what do I really want these nights to look like? And I want to give you permission to make them go well for you. In other words, there are two in this relationship, or maybe more depending on how much this is affecting all of your family. But there are at least two of you, you and your little boy, okay? And if the sleep situation isn't working for either one of you, then in my opinion, it's not working, and it's time to have a think about how to help things go better. So I hope you will take me seriously and take that suggestion seriously, because if you skip over that part, the other things don't work so well. We really need to have a conviction about what it is that we're doing, to know that yes, this is our goal and we are ready to do what it takes to get there. Okay, so I just wanted to review that. Today I want to talk about the importance of play in helping our child sleep better. Now this might sound a little bit odd to you, but there's a tool, perhaps you've read in my book. My book, by the way, is called Listen, 5 Simple Tools to Meet Your Everyday Parenting Challenges. It was published by Hand in Hand Parenting, and I wrote it with my mentor, Patty Whitfler. If you haven't read it, there are some wonderful anecdotes in there about how parents around the world have used these tools to help their children sleep better. But anyway, one way that we help our children sleep better is by upping the play. And I don't mean Monopoly, I mean physical play. I mean that rough and tumble kind of play when you're really getting in there with them, you're wrestling, you're pillow fighting, you're letting them jump on your back, you're going for the giggles. And we call this kind of play, play listening. And it's a bit different than general play, and I won't go into all the details, but the one thing that I want you to pay attention to is that the child is really leading. In other words, you might have an idea for a play listening game, and a game, in other words, where you're going for the giggles. So maybe you decide that it's a game of chase. But if you kind of propose a game of chase and you start playing a game of chase with your little guy and he's giggling, and then you turn it into a much more intense game where he is feeling like he needs to get away and he's squealing and screeching and perhaps not laughing anymore, you need to step back. Because what's important in this kind of play is that he is in control, that he doesn't lose control. So there's no tickling here. No tickling, okay? Tickling, so many times, I have so many parents that I've worked with who are traumatized by having been tickled as a child. It's that feeling of helplessness where somebody has a physical power over you and you're not able to catch your breath or get yourself out of that situation, and it can be terrifying. And for some, it does set in some trauma, so we don't want to do that. But we do want to go for laughter, okay? If you remember the last time you had a really good laugh with somebody, you felt closer to them, or a time when you had a good wrestle, maybe with your partner, maybe you were just kind of goofing around and wrestling on the bed sort of spontaneously or something like that, you probably felt closer to that person. So this is what we want to do. We want to help our child, getting back to the sleep bit, we want to help our child feel super close to us before they go to bed in the evening. Okay, upping the play any time of day is good, but before bed is awesome. Okay, so I know that sounds a little bit antithetical to perhaps what many of you have heard before. In other words, most of us are taught, okay, it's time to ramp things down, or no, I guess you ramp up. It's time to tone things down, calm everybody before sleep. But the reality is this: when kids wake in the night, generally when they're not hungry or sick or in pain or anything like that, it is generally because there are fears that are arising for them. Just like for us, okay? And so one thing that really helps that is creating an intense feeling of closeness and safety before they go to bed. And plays are just a great way to do that. So when you play listen, you're wanting to let your child lead, okay? Go notice what makes them laugh and then do more of it and more of it and more of it. So let's say you're playing that chase game that I talked about and you trip as you're going into the kitchen, and you catch yourself, you don't get hurt, but your child thinks it's hysterical. Do it again. Anything you notice that makes him laugh, do more of it until there's no more laughter there. That closeness is going to release lighter fears, help him feel safe. And those feelings of closeness to you and feeling safe, that you're going to protect him, that he's going to make it through the night. I mean, he's not thinking, oh, I'm going to make it through the night. But that feeling of safety that allows him to relax at night is going to help him sleep better. So I hope I was clear there. I feel like I was a little bit all over the place, but let me see if I can recap here. It's still important to come up with a plan. What do you want the nights to look like? And I mean a specific plan. Do you want him to go to bed on his own? Do you want him to fall asleep on his own after a story? Do you want him to stop waking up during the night? Do you want him to sleep until a certain time in the morning and then it's okay for him to come into your bed? There's no one right way, but what is it that you want? And then, you got to plan strategically to make that happen. And part of making that happen, like I talked about in the sleep training video, is going to be with setting limits and really listening to the upsets and the fears that arise as a result of those limits that you're setting. So you're not leaving him alone, you're staying with him, but you're helping him get to a place where he can sleep through the night or get himself to bed or whatever it is that you're wanting. So those are parts of it, let's not forget. But then I want to add in this play piece because, first of all, it's fun and it's really key. And even just upping the play any time of day. Any time of day. If you can be silly, if you can get him laughing and goofy laughing, not tickling, remember, then he's going to feel closer, he's going to feel safer, and you are going to have a good night's sleep. So I hope you'll take this to heart. I want to hear how it goes. I know it might feel a little bit scary, like, oh God, I worked so hard with my 3 books and rubbing his head and calming him down before bed. But if he's still waking up, then I think it's perhaps time to look at the fact that it's not working. And when something's not working for me, even when it's scary or uncomfortable, I really push myself to try something new. And I hope you'll do that too. I hope you will take my word for it, try it. Certainly nothing horrible is going to happen. The worst case scenario would be that you'd go back to what wasn't working before, but I have a feeling that this is going to bring you great results. So hop onto my Facebook page, Tasha Shore, Your Partner in Parenting Boys. Let me know how this goes. If you find this helpful, if you find this video helpful, go ahead and share it with your friends on your Facebook page or whatever social media you're on, and let's get back to sleep. Let's get us sleeping again. Let's get our boys sleeping again, because we can be so much more playful, so much more loving, so much more patient, so much more accepting of struggles when we are getting a good night's sleep. So don't forget that you too are a part of this relationship. If the sleep situation isn't working for both of you, it's not working. Bye for now.